Minecraft Immortals, episode 13. I think it's 13. Standing here in front of the storage building we built in the last episode, and I am still loving this place. It is awesome, and I've almost just about moved in here. I've been spending most of my time in here just messing about. But one of the things that I have been doing is downstairs. I found a use for one of these little corner cubbies. I threw in a small little charcoal generator because our next project is going to be a smelter setup. And I know I had said I wasn't going to build... Oh man, that was already open. Okay, come on. I wasn't going to build this like a giant, crazy, enormous super smelter thing, but then I started looking around because I had one that I've already done and it works really well. But then I decided to see what else was out there, started looking at some different designs and whatnot, and I stumbled upon one by Il Mango. And if any of you guys know anything about Il Mango, you kind of know where this is going. So this is, I think the footprint, I think it's a little bit too long, but this is just kind of a guesstimate footprint for what I want to build. And what I want to build is this design right here. This is his perfect furnace array, 1.11 plus. And I have it loaded here in a 1.15 world, and it's working just perfectly the way it is. He has two different versions, and this is a world download that he has available. I'll link the video, the tutorial video that he goes over this furnace setup, and has the world download link in it. So I'll link that in the description. You guys can download this and poke around and have a look. But so this is the single module design. It's got 23 furnaces, and it's really easy to use. You just load your fuel up here, items to smelt up here, and every 10 seconds, basically the amount of time it takes to smelt one item, it ticks and inserts a new item. So there's always one item in each furnace, and the fuel gets refilled every time this gets refilled, so there's no wasted fuel anywhere. And it works really, really well. But this one here is a double setup, and it works twice as fast. And while it looks super duper long, if I'm looking at this side over here, and unless I'm seeing something that, unless I'm wrong, I could be completely wrong, I think I can swing these wings, the furnace wings, around so that they're going like long ways here, one on each side, and then they both meet up here in the middle on one wall for your inputs. And then, so all I'll have to do is extend, just kind of bend these hoppers around the corners to meet each machine. I think that'll work. If it doesn't work, then we'll just tear it all down and try a different way of doing things. But that's what I want to do. So this is going to be, see here, that's 23, that's 46 furnaces in total. And I tested it. I loaded this thing up with a chest full of charcoal, and then I put a chest full of just logs up here, just to let them smelt. And it smelted an entire double chest of logs in 10 minutes. So that's pretty amazing little furnace setup there. So that's what we're gonna build. So I'm gonna have to take a whole bunch of screenshots of this because honestly, I mean, like I said, I'm not a redstone wizard. I kind of just I just kind of build the way it looks and just hope it all works out. And if something goes wrong, then I'm kind of a little bit clueless. But I'm going to take a whole bunch of screenshots so I can kind of have an idea what's going on. I'll probably pop in and out of this thing or watch his tutorial over and over and over while I'm building it. But it's pretty modular. once you get one of these things built, you just repeat it all the way down, and then the other side is just mirrored. So I'll really only need to worry about getting one of these right, and then I can just copy it all the way down. But basically, it just works by locking all the hoppers with a timer in sequence to just unlock long enough for one item to go through every 10 seconds. So that's pretty much how it works. And it works really, really cool. And the coolest thing is when you put stuff in, there's a little bit of a delay while the hoppers fill up, and then they all just light up all at once. Like it just fires to life and it just goes. So yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty big. And this is what we're going to build. So of course, that does mean that with 46 furnaces, and each furnace having about, I think it's 2 hoppers running into it, plus the hopper bridge going around the corner from the inputs of the fuel and the items, I'm going to need a whole lot of hoppers, which means I need to make a bunch of chests, which means I'm back to chopping more wood. Right, so I've got one half of it built up. I figured this would be the easiest way to do it, is just run through the tutorial about 15 times and build up one half of it in this world, so I can go back and forth in real time and build up the other half. But this is the one half of the furnace array. There's 23 furnaces here, and I haven't actually tested it yet. I figured we do give it a test drive after I got it all done. But we're just going to build up the other half now. So basically what we need to start out with is some hoppers along the bottom here, the output hoppers. They're all feeding into the output chest, with one half of the output chest here. And then we'll build it up from there. So we're going to do hoppers and furnaces. And I'm going to do my best to build this on camera, so we're not just skipping forward through all the builds on this channel. And I haven't been counting. Where am I? Okay. Need 23 of these. I should have been counting them, but I wasn't counting them, so I'm just going to guess. Are we at the end here? Or we get one too many? One too many. Okay, and then we're going to put hoppers on the top of all these, or furnaces on the top of all these. It's a very satisfying sound that these make when you plop them on there. Not quite as satisfying as placing sandstone. I found that block to be very therapeutic to place. I don't know what it's just the way it sounds when you do it. Alright, now we need to put a row of hoppers along the back side, and then another one on top of the furnaces for input, I think. If I'm remembering this correctly. See if I can do this without having to stare at the other half as much as possible. Alright, now is there one extra on this, or is that just... No, okay. So I need to do the next group here on top of all the furnaces. So these are the input. These input the items to be smelted. These are the fuel inputs. These input the fuel into the furnaces. And then when everything gets smelted up, comes out the output into here. And it all runs into this chest here. So now I need to put a line of hoppers going above this for the inputs. And I'm using iron blocks as my building blocks because I am like super iron rich at the moment, so why not? We're going to I'm gonna need to go grab some more hoppers. And it's getting dark, so I think this would be a good time to go refill my hoppers. So let's run in here real quick and do that. This thing is using a whole lot of hoppers. I think I should have a couple stacks left already made up. Yep, okay, so we'll just grab all of those. Alright. We're going to run upstairs to a little hidey hole here and reset the day and get back to work. I've actually been spending all my time inside the storage room lately. I've barely gone into my house at all. It's generally how it works. Once I get a storage building made up, it becomes home. I've also mined up a whole bunch of sand so we can give this thing a real good test drive by smelting a full double chest of sand and see how long it takes for that to happen. I kind of want to test. I want to have it race against a single furnace over there with a single stack of sand and see what happens. So I have a feeling that there's 46 furnaces here, and there's 64 items in a stack, and each of these gets each item dispersed equally amongst all these furnaces. That means that this should be able to smelt all 50 some odd items in a double chest, or stacks in a double chest, in the time it would take for a single furnace to smelt a stack and a half. I think. I'm not a math whiz, so I'm probably wrong there, but I think that sounds about right to me. Anyway, back to work. Just gonna place all these on this super bumpy road. There we go. And these are gonna wrap all the way around to the fuel input chest. Just like this. Nope, not like that though. That's the frustrating part about working with hoppers. Anytime you break a brick above them, you gotta go hunt for it. Sometimes they'll get you in trouble if you aren't paying attention, because you'll end up with a building block inside the fuel slot of a furnace or something stupid like that that'll gum up the entire works. Boom. Alright, fuel line is in. Alright, now you do the input line as well. Right, no. This one goes... I think I actually managed to catch that one. Okay. So that's going to have a hopper or a dropper that will lower this onto that line. So, okay. So we're going to go... We'll deal with that after we get the dropper in place. I think that's the right spot. One extra on the top for the dropper. Yeah, one extra on the top. Okay. Now we need to place redstone or building blocks across the front half there. And I'm going with... Oh, I already have a stack of bricks. What am I doing? Okay. I'm going with regular bricks. I kind of like it. I kind of don't like it. So I'm going to live with it for a little bit and see how I feel about it. Like, it brightens it up so it's not quite so dark. But I want this room to kind of feel like a furnace room with, like, it's been smoky and coal has gone everywhere. So it's got black soot all over the place. And it's just kind of a furnace, like a fireplace looks when it's all been used for a while. Place a line of redstone across this. Need more redstone. Right. Okay. Now. Probably shouldn't have put the facade around this whole thing, but and you build up that little back part there, and then we'll start putting the redstone across the top input circuit. How was that done? Right. Just like this. Right. Alright, now we need to put a comparator in there. Okay, so that gets a comparator, and then that has comparator, redstone, repeater. Okay. Is there anything more frustrating than trying to place a comparator? Yep, I'm gonna need more redstone dust. Probably should have prepared for this better, but I didn't, because I'm me. Alright, did I bring more out here? Or is this inside this sorter? Alright, I'm gonna go get more redstone. I'm gonna do a little bit more work on this. Like I said, the download is in there. So, but this is getting long. So I want to get this done before the episode so we can give it a good test. So I'm gonna keep going on this. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got all the building blocks in place. So now I just have to place the redstone down. So there's redstone, repeater to 3 ticks. And this just repeats itself all the way down the line with 4 redstone, then 2 across the hoppers, redstone there, repeater to 3 ticks, and then redstone. Right, now, that should all be working. Next is going to be the input, all the redstone for the fuel input. So I'm going to get busy putting the building blocks in place for that. I find that the easiest way when I'm doing big complicated circuits like this is to get all the blocks the redstone goes onto in place first, and then come back and put all the redstone in afterwards. Otherwise, you're you're switching back and forth between things just too much in my head. And I always build the blocks that the redstone is going to go on top of as something that is completely different from any of the other blocks in the build, so I know not to mess with them. They need to stay put and not get, like, not to be mined. So today I've chosen to use iron blocks because I kind of have a surplus of iron and I need to start using it, like, in all things, because I'm gonna have to build a silo over there or something. Something's gonna have to happen soon because things are starting to pile up already. But anyway, so that's what I'm gonna do next. I'll be back once that is all complete. Now I just need to connect all of these hoppers to the input. And then we can give this thing a test drive. I think I've got everything where it's supposed to be and everything hooked up. I haven't a clue how any of this actually interacts. I'm really no clue with redstone. I'm trying to learn a little bit more and be a little bit more redstone proficient, but I'm not at this point. Right now I'm just a paint by numbers kind of a guy when it comes to redstone. So like I said, follow the tutorial. He explains how to build it. He doesn't actually explain what each component is doing in the build. I mean, he kind of does. I mean, there's things locking hoppers and things like that. But as far as, like, why that all works together, there's no. So anyway, yeah, I got it all put together, I think. So now it's time to see if it works. And what I have over here is a full double chest of fuel and a full double chest of sand. So we can smelt that all into glass, and we're going to see if this works, and if it does, how quickly it goes through all of that. And I guess we'll load the fuel in first, so it has a chance to distribute throughout all the hoppers into all the furnaces. And then we'll chuck in the sand and hopefully see all the furnaces light up all at once. That's what it should look like. We're getting fuel. We are getting fuel. Okay. Everything seems to have the same amount of fuel going on. Alright, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Now let's throw in some sand. And then we're going to step back and see if they light up. They should all light up all at once. They should light up all at once. There we go. And we're cooking. That's awesome. Now we get to see how quickly these things are coming through. Oh, man, they're just flying into here. That's cool. Let's get the rest of the sand in there. What do we got now? Oh, we've almost got 3 stacks already. We've already almost smelted 3 stacks of glass. That's cool. That is so cool. Hopefully, I'm not missing any random items in these hoppers. I went through and checked all of them to make sure there weren't any, like, building blocks or anything like that that had fallen in and or messed anything up. And it doesn't appear to be. Everything seems to be working exactly as it should be. This is so cool. Now, I've been calling this an auto smelter, but this, I mean, come on. There's 46 furnaces. What's going on here? Why are you not cooking? What's happening here? obviously something has gotten in there that it doesn't like. Okay, you're not. Got one furnace. Not getting sand. What's your second one from the end? Okay. What's going on with you? Okay, I think I figured it out. And went ahead and finished up the things. Basically went through block by block and checked everything, and I realized that these comparators in the back here need to be in subtract mode, and I did not have them that way. And also, I was missing this block here, and my droppers weren't facing down into this hopper. They were just facing into that block right there, which is shooting the items all over the place, and they were ending up in fuel lines and other places they shouldn't be. So with that sorted, we're going to give it another go. I just went and mined up a bunch of nether racks so we can make some more nether bricks for the outside of the building. So we're going to toss these in here and see if that furnace stays alight and if everything gets distributed equally. Because this one right here was getting stacked up with a large amount of items. Same with this one. And that's not how it's supposed to work. Each furnace is supposed to have an equal number of items distributed to it. So that's looking good. Alright, that's looking good. See if this one stays on, because I was getting about maybe 4 or 5 items into this furnace right here before it shut off. Still not exactly sure why this one single furnace shut off. It had to have had something to do with something being powered when it shouldn't have been just there. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of, and it had something to do with those comparators in the back. But it seems to be staying on, and we seem to still have everything, only one item in each furnace, which is the way it's supposed to be. So each furnace is only smelting one item at a time, and as soon as that item's done, it gets a new one inserted in. That's exactly what's happening, and we're getting a ton of items really, really fast. I mean, look, in that time, we've already smelted up this number of items. So that's, I mean, we could probably call this a super smelter. I'm going to call it that because that's pretty super. I mean, that's a ton of items in a very, very, very short period of time, and everything now seems to be working. So that's awesome news. And I don't know. I'm still trying to live with the red bricks. I kind of like it. It brightens it up in here. Doesn't make it quite as dark and doomy. But I don't know. I might need to sprinkle in some other stuff here and there. But that's probably going to do it for today. So I'll see you guys next time when we build a building around this and move on to the next project. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, don't forget to leave a like. If you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.